I'm so excited today because I'm gonna go and buy a new set of camera and lenses. I've got a budget like $3,000 which I have to buy camera and lenses as well. I've got a project like I always use my Fuji, and I was thinking maybe to buy another Fuji set, but because it records in 10 bits, as it's much easier for me, I don't want to get so much involved with editing. But then I thought maybe Sony can be a new experience for me. I'm a new user to Sony, so I was thinking maybe I go with 6700 with Sony, or maybe Sony A7400. So I'm in between, so I don't know which one I'm gonna choose. So today we're gonna go to the camera market and see which one is much more practical for me with this budget. Let's go and see what will happen. Well, today I'm here right now and I'm deciding to get one new set, as I told you. So I'm thinking about Sony. I have not made my mind yet to which model. So I'm checking. I want to get one camera and some lenses today and see what I'm gonna choose. Well, I'm back home with a new set of camera and lenses I've got. Finally, I got Sony A6700 with the lenses I could buy. Before going to unpack this camera, I want to tell you why I chose this camera. The first one and the most important one was my budget. As I told you, I've got a budget like $3,000. So with that amount of money, I could afford to buy Sony A6700 with 3 different lenses. Well, I was thinking about that A74, but if I wanted to buy the similar set with that camera, with that model, I had to spend minimum like $4,000, which was over my budget. So the most important reason first was my budget. Then later when I was checking about the options that A74 got, well, I thought maybe most of them I can have it in this camera. Well, it was full frame camera. I know it got many different advantages, but still with the job, with the project I have, this can also work for me. This is like my Fuji X-H2S. It's a crop sensor camera and it got a FX30 sensor in it. And the advantage it has is about recording the videos in 10 bits. It can record 4K 60 frames without cropping, and also it can record in 120 frames with a very small cropping. So that was a good advantage for me, which I don't like to go in many editing process, so much process in editing and wasting the time. And so that was one of other reasons which I bought this Sony A6700. And for me, it was also because the size, maybe it was so light. When I unpack it, we will see it all together. And these are the options that I was thinking to buy this camera. And so we're gonna go and unpack it and see how it looks and how it works.
Don't fly too high.
Well, I bought 3 different lenses. As I said, these are secondhand but in good shape. I bought my Tamron 20 A75mm. I bought my Sony 50mm, that's the f1.8. And I also bought one Sigma 30mm. So let's go and unpack my new camera. Well, so excited to use it actually. brochures. I have one battery inside it. And you know what is strange? There is no any charger inside it anymore. So it's like new telephones or phones which comes to the market without any charger. You have to buy separately. That's a band. So wow, that's my Sony A6700. It's so light and it's too small, kind of a like toy, but I think that's a kind of advantage, especially for me, for lady photographers especially, to handle it, because I found the lens is also too small and very light. So I mean, together they don't give me any kind of a weight on your hand or on shoulder, so it's very easy to handle it. So that's a kind of advantage for me to be this small or this light. So that's the camera itself. Open it. So that's the shape of it. Today I just wanted to unpack it for you and just give me my options and my reasons that I bought this camera with these lenses, and then I'm gonna test it. I even want to compare it with my Fuji X-H2S, which are almost similar together, and see the function and working of this nice camera. So please stay with me with my next video to see how it works. Well, comparing to my Canon camera or a Fuji, when I have it in my hand, it's like a toy, is too small and too light, but okay, it doesn't matter. There are two different disadvantages I want to mention in compared to A74, which I couldn't afford to buy it. The main one and the most important one is the SD card. As you see here, there's only one SD card inside it. So my SD card 30, it doesn't work in it. So I had to buy another SD card 90 to work with the full function with this camera, which cost me more. So that's the kind of over costing for me. The other disadvantage which I got with this maybe is about the bokeh. So with A74, because it's a full frame, the bokeh is of course much better. Well, in my job, in my project, it doesn't affect that much. So with this, but if I want to talk about the advantage of it in compared to A74, the autofocus, because it got an AI system right now in it. So the autofocus is so developed in this new version of this camera, and also it got an auto frame. So these are some kind of advantage in compared to A74. So which is so workable for me as well. So these are some, I mean, I don't want to go to much more detailed information with it, because later we're gonna see it on my review with the full details. So far it is what we saw about the advantage and disadvantage between the cameras A74 and my A6700, which I bought.